Hey everyone, it's Allie and welcome to my channel, and today I am super excited to share with you the 10 books I got during Book Outlet's $5.99 fiction sale. Alright, so if you guys are not new to my channel, you know that I am a huge Book Outlet fan. That is where most of my book hauls come from, just because I do think they have pretty much the best deals on the internet. Everything is brand new on the site. The books usually just have a little dot like that, but honestly that does not affect the book at all. And I love this site because not only is everything new, but they actually have a lot of newer books, because I think they get a lot of like overflow from Target and Costco and places like that. And they do have sales on this site pretty often, and I told myself a couple months ago when I placed my last order that I was gonna take a break for a while, but one of you guys let me know that they were having this $5.99 fiction sale, which they do have, I would say, at least like 5 times a year. And so I went on there and I saw that they did have some books that I had been looking for. So I decided to place an order, and I did end up getting 10 books. So yeah, all the fiction, whether it was hardback or paperback, was $5.99, but I did end up getting 2 nonfiction books that I believe were both about $7. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I will just share the 2 nonfiction first because they are from the same author. So the first book is Deadwake, The Last Crossing of the Lusitania, I think is how you say it. This is by Erik Larson, and if you saw one of my last book review videos, I was raving about The Devil in the White City, which has been out for quite a while, and I had had my eye on it for quite a while and just never picked it up, but I finally put aside the time to read it, and that was by this author, Erik Larson. So The Devil in the White City was easily a 5-star book from me. I thought it was such an interesting nonfiction read, and I also felt like I just learned so much, and as I was looking into more books from Erik Larson, I found that he writes about a lot of topics that I myself am interested in, and this was one of them, so I was really excited to see it on Book Outlet. So as the name suggests, this is following The Last Crossing of the Lusitania, and I think I'm gonna absolutely love this book because I was weirdly like a Titanic nerd when I was younger. I thought it was really interesting to learn a lot about that ship, and I just think that time period of like the early 1900s is very interesting. So this is right around that same time as well. This occurred in 1915, and so this book is going to be talking about World War I and of course just the crossing of the Lusitania. So I definitely think I am going to be getting to this very soon. I'm trying to read 1 nonfiction a month. And then the other book from Erik Larson that was available on the site is Thunderstruck. This sounds like another really good one. It says, in Thunderstruck, Erik Larson tells the stories of 2 men, Holly Crippen, a very unlikely murderer, and Guglielmo Marconi, definitely butchered that, the obsessive creator of a seemingly supernatural means of communication, whose lives intersect during one of the greatest criminal chases of all time. This will be another good one to read over the summer, I think, because it's set in Edwardian London and on the stormy coast of Cornwall, Cape Cod, and Nova Scotia, so maybe actually more of a fall read. And this is one I think I will learn so much from, and that is what I really do love about nonfiction. I think this book is going to be talking a lot about like scientific inventions and like countries' races to be on top, and it says Erik Larson guides us through a relentlessly suspenseful chase over the waters of the North Atlantic, so that sounds amazing. Along the way, he tells of a sad and tragic love affair that was described on the front pages of newspapers around the world. A chief inspector who found himself strangely sympathetic to the killer and his lover, and a driven and compelling inventor who transformed the way we communicate. So I think both of these sound really excellent. Every time I go on Book Outlet, honestly, I search for Erik Larson and there's usually nothing available. So just know that that is kind of how Book Outlet works as well. They just have a limited amount of books, and when they're gone, and sometimes they get them back in stock, but sometimes not. So that's why even though these were not on sale, I definitely thought the like $7 price tag was still super reasonable for 2 brand new books. Okay, and now everything else was $5.99. So this one is The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel, and I do have The Sea of Tranquility by this author. I have yet to read it. It's definitely on my list to read very soon, but I know a lot of people really love this book, and I think I will as well. It says that this is an exhilarating novel set at the glittering and intersection of two seemingly disparate events, the exposure of a massive criminal enterprise and the mysterious disappearance of a woman from a ship at sea. So this kind of sounds similar to that Eric Larson book I was just describing, so that's kind of funny. But I do love a good boat book. I love a good mystery. So it sounds like we're gonna follow several different characters, which I love. It says the glass hotel moves between the ship, the skyscrapers of Manhattan, and the wilderness of remote British Columbia, painting a breathtaking picture of greed and guilt, fantasy and delusion, art and the ghosts of our past. So let me know if you've read this one. It's actually not super long. It's just like about 300 pages. And I feel like this is one I'm gonna want to sit down and just binge like over the weekend. I did end up getting 2 books from Lisa Joel, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite authors in the thriller genre. I haven't read anything by her yet that I wasn't impressed by. Everything was, I think, at least like 4.5 stars. So first up, we have The Family Remains, which is actually the second book to The Family Upstairs, which I have and haven't read. But I like that I have both now because I'll probably read this one right after I finish The Family Upstairs. So I'm actually not going to read the blurb of this because I don't know if it's going to reveal something about The Family Upstairs. But Lisa Joel has proven herself to me to be a fantastic author, and I love that there are so many books by her that I still need to get to. So that's why I was definitely willing to take the plunge on this. And then the other book I got is a hardback from Lisa Joel, again, $5.99, and this is The Night She Disappeared. This says it's a beautiful summer night in a charming English suburb, so another good one to read over the summer, when Tallulah and Zach head out to a bar for the first time since the birth of their infant son. Just 19 years old, they've been looking forward to the night and a break from bottles and diapers, so they go to a party of a new college friend, but the two don't make it home. So the book is going to be following Tallulah's mother, Kim, who is trying to figure out what happened that night. And it says, with her signature rich, dark, and intricately twisted prose, Lisa Joel has crafted another dazzling work of suspense that will keep you on the edge of your seat until the final page. And that is definitely how I felt about all the books I've read by Lisa Joel so far, is that I just want to read them so fast. So if you're in a reading rut and you do like thrillers, I would recommend picking up something from this author. Now we've got another thriller. This is 5 Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. And this is not one that I heard of before. I don't think I have heard of this author before actually, but after reading the blurb on Book Outlet, I thought it sounded interesting. This is one I probably will save until like Christmas time. It says Mira needs to get home for the holidays badly, but when an incoming blizzard results in a canceled connection, it looks like Mira might get stuck at the Philadelphia airport indefinitely. But then Harper, who was Mira's glamorous seatmate from her initial flight, she comes to the rescue. Mira decides to get in a car with this stranger, which is not smart, and there's some other people in the car as well, and they all seem to be hiding something dangerous. So I just love books like these. I feel like they never end up being like my favorites, but they're just such a fun read, and I can already picture myself come like December, January, all curled up, diving into this book over a weekend. So even though I won't read it for a while, I'm really looking forward to this one. But do let me know if you have read anything from this author, Natalie D. Richards. Next, we have The Mysterious Case of the Alperton Angels by Janice Hallett. Okay, this sounds pretty dark, a little bit darker than I remember. This says, everyone knows the story of the Alperton Angels, the cult who brainwashed a teenage girl into believing her baby was the Antichrist. Thankfully, the girl comes to her senses, she calls the police, and now we flash forward 18 years. True crime author Amanda Bailey is looking to revive her career by writing a book on the case. And I really enjoy thrillers like this where we're going back and forth in time, somebody's investigating the murder, and of course there's going to be secrets we find out along the way. Alright, now we have another really new release that I was anticipating spending like $15+ on, and then I was able to get it for just $6, and that is A Short Walk Through a Wide World. This is by Douglas Westerbeek, maybe? I've been hearing a lot of really good things about this, and I think this could easily be 5 stars for me. It says it's a dazzlingly epic novel that charts the incredible, adventurous life of one woman as she journeys the globe, trying to outrun a mysterious curse that will destroy her if she ever stops moving. Paris, 1885. Aubrey, a spoiled and stubborn 9-year-old girl, comes across a wooden puzzle ball on her walk home from school. She tosses it over a fence only to find it in her backpack that evening. Days later, at the family dinner table, she starts to bleed to death. a little bit darker than I thought too. But she realizes the act of movement keeps her alive, so she begins her lifelong journey around the world, constantly on the run from her disease, which won't allow her to stay anywhere more than a few days. It says it's a spellbinding and inspiring story of wisdom and hope for those who yearn for novelty and home alike. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Let me know if you did read this yet. I know it was available through Book of the Month, and like my local bookstore had a book club meeting on it already. So I think this is a pretty popular one, and I know that it has gotten very good reviews. Now we have another recent release. This is also just from this year. This is The Antique Hunter's Guide to Murder by C.L. Miller. It says, in this irresistible and thrilling debut novel, a former antique hunter investigates a suspicious death at an isolated English manor, embroiling her back in the dangerous world of tracking stolen artifacts. Joining forces with her eccentric Aunt Carol, we love an eccentric aunt in these books, Freya follows clues and her instincts to an old manor house for an antiques enthusiast weekend. But not all is as it seems. It's clear to Freya that the antiques are poor reproductions and her fellow guests are secretive and menacing. What is going on at this estate, and how was Arthur, who was her mentor, who died under mysterious circumstances, how was he involved? So I think the setting of this is going to be really nice. This probably would be a good fall read. But yeah, this is the debut book from this author, so hopefully it's really good and they have more good stuff to come. And then the last book I have is The Bullet Swallower by Elizabeth Gonzalez James. Another beautiful cover. This sounds like we're going to be jumping around in time. Love that. There is a timeline in 1895, and then we're also in 1964. This book also takes place in Mexico, which I think is really cool because I haven't read a lot of books that do take place there. So it sounds like in 1895 there is a robbery that takes place. And then in 1964, a mysterious figure shows up in Mexico City, and that character realizes he may be the one who has to pay for his ancestors' crimes. It says this is a family saga that's epic in scope and magical in its blood and based loosely on the author's own great-grandfather. The Bullet Swallower tackles border politics, intergenerational trauma, and the legacies of racism and colonialism in a lush setting. So this sounds like it could be really good, and also randomly, I love the font of this book. Alright everybody, those are all the books that I got from Book Outlet during their $5.99 fiction sale. And if you stayed this long, congratulations and thank you very much, because I am having a little bit of a giveaway because this channel is finally monetized, all thanks to you guys. So it seems like you guys do love these Book Outlet videos, and of course I myself love Book Outlet, so I figured a good giveaway would be a Book Outlet gift card. So if you would like to enter to win a $25 Book Outlet gift card, please make sure to drop your Instagram handle below, and if you don't have an Instagram, just go ahead and put your email. So I'm gonna leave the giveaway open for 1 week, and at the time of me filming, I'm not exactly sure what day that will be, so I will put that on the screen now. So yeah, make sure to just put your Instagram handle or your email, and that's all you gotta do to be entered. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate all of your support. And if you did like this video, please make sure to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe because it really does help my channel out a lot. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!